Oh, good, it works. All right, Darren Gomez with Koala Insulation. I actually have Southeast Arlington and West Fort Worth. We service from Weatherford to Waxahachie, south of I-20 for the most part. So pretty big swath of area. Why I do what I do, obviously, I think for most of us who have family, our loved ones. A couple quick updates. My wife recently got promoted to a principal for one school. 6 months later, she was moved back to her old school as a principal. So she's in 2 schools in 6 months. That hasn't been easy, but it's great. My oldest daughter, Tori, got Teacher of the Year in the school that she teaches at. She's a 9th grade English teacher. She's a book nerd. That's okay. My youngest daughter is kind of my tumbleweed. She kind of goes wherever the wind blows. But she has spent the last year interning with a Christian organization that does summer camps. And so right now she's in the middle of summer camp. She's in Indiana, about to come to Louisiana and then back to Indiana. I don't even know. But they do about 5 or 6 states during the summer. So pretty cool there. So my dog Lila, who's old, granny, ornery dog, and Stella is a dog that Maggie brought home. She found it on the road. Said, "Hey, I'm bringing the dog home." I'm like, okay, my dog now. But anyway, that's kind of what I do. Why I do what I do. I just want to do an homage. I'm gonna get upset. This is my father-in-law.
Yeah. I know. Sorry. So sorry.
He passed away yesterday. My dad died when I was 26. I'm 49 now. So my father-in-law is my dad. But he's in a better place, and so I'm glad. I'm glad when he was in the hospice, we went to ask. Thank you, Andy, for information and just talking. But his services are tomorrow. But his name is Treston Reynolds. Great man, love him, and glad he's in a better place. So let's get back to kind of what we need to talk about. I just couldn't not say something today.
Of course.
Koala Insulation is a franchise. It is an insulation franchise that started in Melbourne, Florida. That's the name Koala, like the koalas of Australia. But we really specialize in energy efficiency and comfort. And energy efficiency simply means that we use less energy to get the same job done, but it also gives us comfort and utility savings at the same time. Today I'm going to really focus on spray foam because I get a lot of questions about those, especially on existing homes, so we'll kind of go through that today. But there are many types of insulation, 4 main types: fiberglass, blown-in insulation, whether it's fiberglass or cellulose, which is newspaper, spray foam, and radiant barrier, which is a silver-looking stuff. No, it's not really an insulation, but I kind of lump it all together. Spray foam insulation is an amazing product that has been used in residential homes for over 50 years. People are like, "Oh, I thought it was new." No, it's been used for a long, long time. And it's come a long ways in 50 years. But it can be applied in every part of the home that you would normally apply insulation, the fiberglass backs, the Pink Panther stuff. It just works better. It just works better. There are 2 types of spray foam insulation. The first type is an open cell, half-pound density foam. This is a foam that you see in most residential construction. You can actually walk up to it, grab it, and tear a piece off and squeeze it like a sponge. It is an amazing insulator. And where we really get value with spray foam, regardless of the type, is it air seals and insulates. And so the problem with traditional insulation is you have a certain R value, which is a resistance to heat. The higher the number, the more it resists heat. But as soon as you put it in a hot attic or a cold attic, or you move air through it, that R value diminishes more than 50%. So it's crazy that the code says, hey, we need to put an R38, but as soon as you put it in a hot attic with air movement, you might have a performance R value of 19 or less. So it's kind of crazy where spray foam, air doesn't move through it at all. So all the sealing that it does will allow your heating and cooling to stay in your house longer, which is where you really see the benefit of spray foam insulation. Open cell is also great soundproofing. If you've never been in a house with a spray foam in it, there's a big, especially if there's a road noise or outside noise, you can really tell the difference when there's spray foam versus not spray foam. The second type is a closed cell 2-pound density foam. has the same principle I guess, characteristics as open cell, except that it adds structural rigidity and it has a vapor barrier built in. So we see closed cell spray foam used on metal buildings, crawl spaces if you have a raised home, which is not a lot of, there are some in the older parts of the cities, or if somebody's looking for structural rigidity. So it's used a lot in Florida for wind resistance, for hurricane resistance. So it's pretty good product, very versatile, but still a great way to insulate a metal building. I know some of you guys have metal buildings and have used spray foam before because we've talked about it. Why spray foam works? So spray foam works either in a new construction home, which is where most people think about it, and it also works in an existing home. And why does it work so well? It works so well because it keeps your air conditioning system in a cool environment. So when we spray foam your attic on an existing home, we remove all the old insulation off the ceiling. Now all that cool air migrates up into the attic space. Now your air conditioner is working in a 90-degree attic versus a 140-degree attic. And so you can imagine the efficiencies that you see both on the amount of cool air that comes into the home and the amount of air that stays in the home. It is applied to the roof decking. So that's why spray foam works so well. We're talking about savings in excess, in some cases up to 50% on your utility bill. On average, 30 to 40% is probably a really good number in terms of savings. It can be applied in all types of climates, in all types of situations. We do not have basements here, but there are a lot of basements in the United States of America. So it's just a great way to insulate your home. So if you're fighting those hot rooms, or I can't get this side of my house to cool, once you spray foam an attic, it basically takes the temperature and spreads it out across the house and is very consistent. So it's a great way to insulate your home. I'm going to stop and go. Any questions about spray foam insulation specifically? Yes?
Sort of, kind of one. You said it goes on the decking of your roof and everything else like that. Would it be covered by insurance if hail gets hit and dust has to come out and replace your roof?
Yeah, so if you have to replace your roof and your decking and there's spray foam applied to it, then it would be a covered loss and you would have to get the house to pre-existing condition. So yes, it would be covered.
Yeah, would you file it with your insurance company like after you spray?
No, they would quote it when they quote your roof, typically.
Pre-existing home, are you able to put foam insulation on the sidewalls or only in the attic?
It's a good question. So your walls, once drywall is up, you're not going to use spray foam insulation anymore. There is a company out there that does insulation in walls. It is not polyurethane spray foam. It is a different product. That particular product was manufactured as a block fill insulation, and I don't particularly care for it in existing walls because it really is water-based. We can talk about that more on one-on-one.
Bless you.
Yeah. I get another question I get is if I have a gas appliance or a gas furnace, can I do spray foam insulation? And a lot of the companies out there locally will say no, because one, they don't understand how spray foam works with your HVAC, or two, they don't want to incur the additional costs. They were trying to close a job and they're not even going to tell you the fact that you need to do something special to your air conditioning system if you have gas appliances. If you want to talk about that, me and Angela will be more than happy to discuss it, but we can convert a gas furnace and or water heater to be used in a spray foam attic space. So that can be done. Any other questions about spray foam specifically? No? All right, well then I'm going to go on to my favorite topic, which is ventilation. On a non-spray foam house, ventilation is as important, equally as important, the same importance of insulation. So if you're in a brand new home and you have one of these little squares on your roof that aren't doing much of anything, you really need to upgrade it to some mechanical ventilation where we're actively moving that heat off of your attic space, which means we're taking the heat off of your air conditioner, we're taking the heat off of your roof decking, we're saving you a lot of inconvenience and wear and tear on multiple components of your home that are big ticket items: roofs, air conditioners, and of course your utility bill. So if you have not had an evaluation of your ventilation, you probably need to do that. These attic fans come in two sizes, 30 watt, which will service up to about a 2,000 square foot house, and a 70 watt, which services anything 3,000 to 5,000 square feet. But it really makes a huge difference. You can see, I've seen 10 to 15% reduction on the utility bill just by pulling that heat off of your attic, off of your ceiling, everything just working better. We use a local company out of Conroe, Texas. And so it's a great lifetime warranty product. So, all right, any other questions? One more.
So it says up there, I'm assuming that solar.
Solar.
That it does not need a Jason in there to run electricity to your attic, so solar.
It does not.
Mechanical.
That's right. So it's solar. There's a 30% tax credit.
If you've got two, let's say you have multiple in the attic right now, the little squares, would it be better for the overall distribution of area we had than place multiple places in the attic? Do you only need
Sometimes, depending on how the attic is broken up, and typically one will work. All right. Thanks, guys.